Hello guys, and welcome to episode 4 of the Top 10 Gold series, and today we are taking a look at the characters with the highest recovery in the game. If you're not certain what recovery does in the first place, but you want to know, you're welcome to check my video on it, which will appear anytime now on the top right corner of the screen. In a nutshell, the more recovery a character has, the quicker he or she will regenerate health while tagged out. And before we start with the rankings, let me remind all of you that Beat the Damage event is still on and I will accept videos until 31st of March. The point is, beat my record of 985,000 damage using any gold character in any gold team in Faction Wars. Once you do that, contact me here on Twitter or on Facebook. You will find all of them in the description of this video. And your video will be uploaded and you will see how well you have performed compared to other players. Once again, be creative guys, you don't really need to have fully maxed gold team to beat my score. It is all about having winning strategy. Anyways, time to start our top 10 recovery episode. Coming in at number 10 guys, with 38,291 recovery, we have Slasher Jason. I recently reviewed this guy and I can say that I really love everything about him. I mean, he's so safe, he can raise from the dead twice, and on top of that he has high recovery to back this up, and also 2 unblockable special attacks. All in all, a perfect character. And once again, he's joined by his younger brother, Unstoppable Jason. Unlike Slasher, he has worse stats and all of his abilities can be blocked. However, he has another secret weapon, regeneration. And if we add to this the fact that his recovery is also great, well, he becomes unstoppable indeed. Coming in at number 9, with 38,556 recovery, we have, again, 2 characters. And the first one on the list is High Tech Jackie, the Spec Ops Girl with not working passive. In case you have missed my review on her, she has to boost the power generation of all Spec Ops characters in her team by 20%, however she doesn't really do that, so hopefully this will get fixed in the next update. Sharing the same recovery as her is Kraken Reptile. Considering his passive, quite honestly he would use high recovery, and if someday this stat gets buffed, I believe it will make Kraken Reptile slightly better character. Hopefully. Number 8 guys belongs to a single character who has 38,745 recovery, and this character is Triborg Cyrax, the yellow Triborg with the amazing special one, the must-have martial artist to any critical hit based team. Cyrax makes another appearance in our series just to prove that he shouldn't be underestimated. Never. Number 7 really surprised me guys, because it is shared between 2 characters both having 39,312 recovery. And the interesting part here is that I'm talking about balanced and possessed Kenchi. That's right, those 2 guys look the same and have the same recovery stats. And speaking of them guys, which one do you prefer? Do you tend to use balance more often for the bar of power, or you like the tagging fire attack of possessed Kenchi? For me, the answer is simple and easy. I will go for balanced Kenchi almost all the time. I simply value his passive better. Now, brace yourselves guys, because we reach number 6, which is shared by 11 characters, all having 39,690 recovery. And the first one on the list is a very old character, Flaming Fist Lucane. Don't get me wrong guys, he is old but gold at the same time. Quite honestly, I still have a lot of fun playing with him, he's still good after all those years. Faron Ermac is joining Lucane at number 6. I'm kind of surprised that this guy has so high stats, but so far he has missed just one episode, the hit points one. It seems that despite his years in the game, his stats are still one of the best among the gold characters. Sub-Zero Triborg is the next character having the same recovery. However, despite Lucane and Ermac, I am not surprised by seeing him in another episode. Ever since his release, he is known as one of the best characters in the game in virtue of his passive, stats and overall gameplay. Scorch Baraka, guys, is 6th. Remember, he was 7th in the toughness episode as well, and to my horror he also was part of the top 10 attacks and top 10 hit points. So after all, he has good stats, nobody can deny that. Another usual suspect joins the party at number 6, Aftershock Tremor. I mean, what can I say about Tremor? He's good, he's fun to play, he's very versatile, and he has the 6th highest recovery among all gold characters in Mortal Kombat Mobile. That will summarize it. Cosplay Jackie is here again, guys. She made it to another episode of the series, and this doesn't really come as a surprise, not at all. After all, she is a top tier gold character, one of the best in her class and by far one of the most interesting characters in MK Mobile. So her recovery is good, but she has tons of other strengths. And standing right next to Jackie we have Sector Triborg, another very useful character who is with us in 2nd consecutive episode. So far he has missed only the top 10 health, but you know, nobody is perfect, and Sector is not an exception. And the next guy on the list with the same recovery is Warlock Quan Chi. He is that difficult to max for a reason, guys. I mean, his recovery seems to be okay, but his main strength is his amazing passive. After all, you can use it in every game mode, on every character, it will always be useful. Treacherous Tanya is the next character on our list. I don't think there is anything I can say about her, guys. She seems to have good recovery, good hit points, good attack, good toughness, you get the point, right? And on top of that, she can be quite useful in almost any game mode, and that's something. The next guy with the 6th highest recovery among the golds is Combat Cup Johnny. Of course, if you count his passive, he will rank higher on our list, but as we have established and agreed many times before, passives are out of scope. So Johnny will have to agree to his 6th place on our ranking. And the last character ranking 6th is Elder God Kenchi, the winner of our previous episode, the fan favorite Elder God, the guy with the great haircut and glowing blue eyes. Kenchi is here to prove once again that he has one of the best stats in Mortal Kombat Mobile. And coming in at number 5, alone with 40,633 recovery, we have Classic Sonya, the Spec Ops who ignores toughness. Sonya is again with us in another episode. However, if I had to choose, I'd switch her high recovery for a few more seconds time of her special one debuff, which currently lasts for, I don't know, probably a third of a second. Really, please buff this debuff. Coming in at number 4, we have, oh lord, we have again 11 characters all sharing the same recovery stats of 41,580, and the first one to step in is Master of Souls Ermac, one of the most useful basic gold characters who can shine in a lot of teams, even next to juggernauts such as Shao Kahn. Think about it, he can be useful in literally any Outworld team, so if you have him and for some reason you don't use him, rectify this mistake immediately. Standing right next to Ermac and sharing the same recovery, we have Dark Lord Kotal Kahn. You know, what he really lacks is a good attack, so if there was a way to take some of his recovery and add it to his attack, I'd do it every time I have a chance. Triborg Smoke makes another appearance in our series, and so far he hasn't missed an episode. Quite an achievement, right? So I believe we can all agree that despite his high recovery, if you face him in battle, the recovery will be the least of your worries. Unlike Smoke though, we have a character making his debut in the series, Shaolin Master Kung Lao, and he's quite a unique character without any doubts. The only thing I don't like about him is that even if you agree that he can boost the bronze card stats to a serviceable level, their special attacks remain underwhelming with horrible buffs and debuffs. Of course, this has its exceptions, but after all, it is true for big majority of the bronze characters. And the next character on the list is Shirei Ryu Takeda. One of the best gold cards without a doubt. I bet none of you is surprised to see Takeda in another episode of our series. He is just that good. Standing right next to Takeda we have Combat Cup Sonya. Again, I won't get tired of repeating how great she is, how amazing she is and how she can fit in any tower, faction wars game or in general any game mode except bosses fights of course. So another episode, another case of Sonya appearing in it, just as usual. Vampiress Melina is the next girl to join the list of characters sharing number 4. Melina is the kind of character you have to love. Just look at her design guys, she is simply incredible. And of course, we shouldn't forget the victory stance. The victory stance, you know what I'm talking about. A Faction Wars exclusive character also joins the party, Kobujitsu Tanya. I'm not going to lie, she is one of my favorite gold characters. She has crazy passive, giving her tons of lethal damage, and if you add to this a sky high recovery, there you go, you have the ultimate Edenian fighter. Kintaro, the 4-armed monster, is another character having the same recovery at number 4. Good news for him though is that this time he will beat Goro for the title the best recovering 4-armed monster in MK Mobile. After all, this is something, right? And the last but one character at number 4 is classic Ermac, the guy with a deadly special too. I bet many of you have used his passive to finish off a dying opponent. To me, this is one of the best things to do playing Ermac. It is really that fun, I really love it. And the last guy at number 4 guys is Vengeful Shinnok. In case you don't know, apart from his great recovery, Shinnok used to have the deadliest special 2 in the game. It was capable of one-shotting a blocking full HP diamond. Unfortunately for him, the damage is gone now and all he has left is his great recovery. And coming in at number 3, with 42,525 recovery, we have just one character, Mournful Kitana. She actually used to be a basic gold character, but last year she got promoted to challenge gold. And I was kind of disappointed with that because they didn't really update her passive in the process. But hey, at least she got a buff to her stats, and thanks to that, she manages to rank 3rd on our top 10 highest recovery episode among the gold characters. She couldn't make it guys. She was so close and yet so far, because the runner-up of the episode with 44,415 recovery is classic Melina. After all, if we have to be honest, recovery is the least important of the 4 base stats. I exclude the power generation when I say 4. And so far, Melina won 3 of them, the most important ones. So if you're a Melina fan like me, heads up. She is by far the gold character with the overall highest stats in the game. But we now know that Melina ranks 2nd. The question to be answered is, who is our champion?
A paltry, pathetic effort.
And the winner of today's episode with 45,360 recovery is the deadly MK11 Jade. Isn't it ironic guys? Jade was out of top 10 in the toughness episode, but now she returns like a boss, finishing 1st with the highest recovery among all gold cards. So now we know that she is not only deadly, but quite skillful at regenerating hit points while tagged out. So she deserves our congratulations for being the gold character with the highest recovery in the game. But is she alone guys? Of course not, because sharing the same recovery like Jade we have Marksman Kung Jin.
Now give it up!
That's right, he actually won top 10 toughness as well, and now he wins another top 10 episode. I mean, this is great, but poor Kung Jin. I bet he prefers to win top 10 hit points in attack and to be out of top 10 toughness and recovery, but it is what it is. And MK11 Jade and Kung Jin are not alone again, because they are joined by a 3rd character, an Elder God, Bone Shaper Shinnok. He actually has the same fate like Kong Jin, sky high recovery and toughness, not that great attack and hit points, and this is again not that good for the character, because let's face it, attack is extremely important, health is very important, toughness is occasionally important, and recovery is close to useless at best. In fact, if I can transfer 10% of my recovery points to attack and start with 0 recovery, I will take that offer every day. But still, the fact that those two characters, Shinnok and Kong Jin, are so outdated and yet they have the best toughness and recovery is quite impressive. Okay guys, another episode is in the history. This time it was won by only 3 characters: MK11 Jade, Marksman Kong Jin and Bone Shaper Shinnok. Join me in congratulating and celebrating their achievement. And please stick around as the next video on Special 1 is just around the corner. Until then, see you next time guys. Take care and stay safe.
Perfect. Perfect.